Welcome to Series 4 of Sistory History, The Romans 2. We are back in the ancient city of Rome, specifically during the late Republic and the early mid-Empire this time, to talk all things sensorial. Let us immerse you in some of the familiar and not so familiar aspects of everyday life that make these Romans just so interesting to us 2,000 years later. And what better time to start than first thing in the morning? Episode 1, the Salutatio.
In ancient Rome, the client-patron relationship was central to society. So ingrained, in fact, that its beginnings can be traced back to Romulus, the legendary founder of the city. The morning salutatio was just one of the manifestations of this idea of patronage. Clients would call at the patron's house first thing in the morning to greet him, but also to ask for support or perhaps some favour. They might then accompany their patron to the forum for some hobnobbing, and the more clients he had around him, the more important he looked. So this definitely wasn't just a case of a simple hello and how are you today. This was a tangle of politics, social hierarchies, and the traditions that bound Romans together.
A warm welcome back to our regular listeners, and a big hello to any new ones. For those of you who are new to Sistory History, each episode my good sister Laura and I will have a light-hearted chat about a chosen topic, but with one foot very firmly in the primary source material.
Yes, and let's hope our chat is more inspiring than your suggestion of Romans 2 for the series name.
Sorry.
Anyway, Caroline, imagine this. It's early morning. You hit the wine hard last night, very hard, at your neighbour's dinner party. You're feeling delicate, trying to sleep it off, but your manservant is knocking incessantly on the bedroom door, saying you've got to get up because there's 23 people congregating in your vestibule.
That sounds very uncomfortable. Do you know, actually, I've spent an ungodly amount of time reading about vestibules this week.
Oh, yes.
But that is by the by. Laura, please, can you introduce our sources for the episode? Who do we have in our vestibule?
We have 4 gentlemen in our vestibule today.
Goodness.
I know. Lucky us. We have Seneca the Younger, writing in the 1st century CE, a Stoic philosopher, statesman and playwright, loved by Nero until he definitely really wasn't loved by Nero anymore, and died in the bath. Then we have Martial, also writing in the 1st century CE. He was born in Spain, but moved to Rome in his 20s and lived in Rome under the Flavian emperors. He was best known for his witty epigrams that vividly capture daily life in Rome. Next we have Juvenal, a Roman poet and satirist of the early 2nd century CE, and he wrote satires attacking the corruption of Rome under the emperors Domitian to Hadrian, which sounds fun, but also sounds a bit dicey.
Oh yeah, dangerous.
Yeah, risky business. And finally we haven't seen him before in our vestibule, Quintus Tullius Cicero, younger brother of the more famous orator Marcus Tullius Cicero. He was also a Roman statesman and a military leader, writing in the 1st century BCE. He authored letters, poems, but also 4 tragedies. But they've all been lost.
Oh.
And also the work that we'll be considering today, which is an electioneering handbook.
Fun.
Right.
Okay, Laura, would you like to kick us off then with your first source?
Sure. So my first source is Quintus Tullius Cicero and his electioneering handbook called the Commentariolum Petitionis. He wrote this in 64 BC, and it was actually to help out his brother Marcus Cicero on political campaigning because he was running for consul, and he actually won the consulship in 63 BC.
Okay.
So it's probably a decent handbook.
It's basically, this will help you win an election.
Yes. Now, this extract is from section 9 of the book, and I would like you to think about sound.
Okay.
So this is Quintus Tullius Cicero's Commentariolum Petitionis, section 9. Let those who shall come to your house see that you notice it. Show your gratification to such of their friends as will repeat it to them. Frequently mention it to the persons themselves. It often happens that people, when they visit a number of candidates and observe that there is one who above the rest notices these attentions, devote themselves to him. Leave off visiting the others, little by little become devoted to the one instead of being neutral. and from sham turn out real supporters.
I like this advice.
Yeah?
It's a bit contriving though, isn't it?
Mm.
Be nice to everyone and then... Oh no, I guess it's be nice to everyone.
I mean, it's electioneering handbook.
Yeah.
You know? I have a slightly different translation for you. Fill your house before dawn to hold as many people in hope of your protection, to send them away better friends than they came in, to fill as many ears as possible with excellent reports of you.
I mean, is that just nice advice for life?
It is, yeah. If it's genuine, I suppose. I mean,
that's
it
the
could
thing.
easily be fake, couldn't it? But what he's saying is that you have the opportunity with these people to benefit from what you are saying to them, that they are hearing, that they can then go and repeat around. So we're talking about the power of words and information. By just people talking amongst themselves, Cicero could win his election because people are hearing good things about him. He's a good patron. He treats his guests nicely, all that sort of thing. And that gets legs, doesn't it? That has a ripple effect.
The power of gossip.
Power of gossip, correct. And I really like the idea of stories and the gossip just sort of rippling out across Rome in the forum. You can almost hear the murmuring, can't you? Do you know what happened to Cicero's Salutatio this morning?
He gave everyone a really big present.
But do you think there might have been a Chinese whispers effect?
Oh, I see.
A little, because the more a story spreads, you get that, don't you?
Yeah.
Things get left off, things change, people change things on purpose.
It gets elaborated.
Yeah.
So instead of him just giving everyone a bit of cake and a cup of tea, suddenly he was giving everyone a bag of money and a horse.
Yeah, or giving them really bad cake.
I'm sure it could go the other way, but he did get elected.
He did get elected, yes. But it could go either way. That's a very good point. Because depending on people's preferences or biases, they can moderate what they hear, can't they? And then change it and send it on its way.
Yeah, repeat the gossip, but focus on the bad things.
Yes.
Nice.
And this happens in politics all the time,
Sure.
doesn't it? We see it play out in every single election. So it obviously worked, you know. His brother was giving him some fairly decent advice. He did get the consulship. Yeah, maybe he died at some point, but okay. It wasn't because of the consulship.
Okay, that's a nice way to cheerily end things.
Is it? Who are we bringing out of the vestibule next?
Next into my office, I would like Marshall,
Ooh,
obviously.
Fun one.
Marshall, as we know, wrote epigrams, poems, witty, funny little things about everyday life, and he is a great source for the Salutatio because he doesn't seem to have been a fan. I'll read you the extract first, and I want you to think about touch.
Okay.
This is Marshall Epigrams 10.82 to Gallus. If discomfort to me is of any advantage to you, I will put on my toga and attend you at dawn, or even at midnight. I will endure the whistling blasts of the keen north wind. I will bear showers of rain and brave storms of snow. But if you are not a fraction the better for all of my sufferings, all these tortures inflicted on a free man, show some pity, I pray, to your fatigued client, and excuse him from this pointless toil, which are of no advantage to you, Gallus, and are painful to me.
Oh, he doesn't want to do it.
He really doesn't.
Definitely if it's not going to give him any benefit.
And that's the thing. Marshall makes it very clear from the off that this isn't in any way a comfortable or enjoyable activity for him. It's very much an inconvenience, and on many levels. And quite honestly, I'm with him. Firstly, the fact that he has to get up really early in the morning.
That is rubbish. Yep.
Leave his warm bed, go outside. We already know that the Salutatio took place the first 2 hours of the day.
5, 6 a.m? 7, yes.
Yeah, basically when the sun comes up. And sometimes your patron might live miles away, okay? So you have to trek across the city, up hills, through crowds of people. And he says in the epigram, he calls himself a fatigued client. He's tired. And he's not as young as he once was. And frankly, this is all a bit of a chore. But worse than that, it's a pointless chore and a silly o'clock in the morning.
So is Gallus the patron?
Yes.
So it sounds like Gallus isn't being a very good patron, not making it worth Marshall's while.
It doesn't seem to be worth anyone's while, quite honestly. Secondly, he has to put a toga on. It's not just your leggings and your crop top.
Wow.
That would be quite the outfit. But I think we've mentioned this before on the podcast. The toga isn't fun to wear.
No.
It's heavy, it's cumbersome, so much so that you have to have help actually putting it on. It's just incredibly impractical as a piece of clothing. Then you throw the weather on top. So not only has he got to hike across Rome at 5 a.m, it might be windy or raining or muddy or snowing.
It's Rome. It's more likely to be baking hot. But to be fair, that still is really uncomfortable.
Still really uncomfortable.
Especially when you're wearing a lot of heavy fabric.
Well, yeah, you throw in a heavy woolen toga. It's not a fun time. Imagine lugging that weight around anyway and then add some rain.
But keep it real, man.
You're going to smell like wet dog if it gets wet.
Okay.
And no one likes that.
No.
And then finally on touch, Marshall is saying that all this palaver, this physically hurts him. He uses words like painful torture, suffering, and specifically that no free man deserves to be physically tortured. That's quite revealing, isn't it?
Yeah, that is, yes.
About the Roman psyche.
Mm.
But all this effort, it's pointless. Nobody benefits. Let's just stay in bed.
Well, that's a very negative attitude, isn't it? Because this is networking, ultimately. And as we've just seen, you can benefit from this.
You can, but in this Marshall/Gallus relationship, it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. So let's just stop the pretense.
Right, okay.
There you go. Marshall being a bit of a negative Nelly.
Mm. Well, I've got someone else who's got a reputation of being a negative Nelly.
Is it Seneca?
It is. Good old Seneca.
He hasn't cheered up then.
No. Seneca wrote a work called De Brevitate Vitae, on the shortness of life.
Again, bit miserable.
Yeah. It's a moral essay written around 49 AD, and it talks a lot about the nature of time, how people don't value it, and therefore they end up wasting a lot of it, doing meaningless stuff. So actually, he's really on par with Marshall here about his attitude towards the Salutatio. I'm going to read to you sections 14.3, 14.4 of De Brevitate Vitae. As for those who run about performing their social duties, agitating themselves and others, when they've duly acted like madmen, when they've crossed every threshold on their daily rounds and passed no open door, and when they've delivered their money-grubbing greeting to houses very distant from one another, how few patrons will they be able to catch sight of in a city so vast and so fragmented by varied passions? How many patrons will there be whose sleep or self-indulgence or churlishness denies their callers access? How many who, after they've tortured them with their long wait, pretend to be in a hurry as they pass them by? How many will avoid going out through a reception hall packed with clients and make their escape through a door that's hidden from view, as if it were not even crueler to deceive them than to refuse them admittance?
Quite honestly, I think I'd be one of them. I would definitely be oversleeping and then probably sneaking out the back door.
I would definitely be sneaking out the back door. This is not my idea of fun at all.
Especially at 5 a.m.
No, you're not going to be good for anything at 5 a.m.
Absolutely not. I'm barely good for anything at 10 a.m.
So true. But I do like the contrast in this. Can you guess what sense I'm talking about, or I would like to think about?
Oh, I think there's sneaking going on, so are we doing sight?
We are doing sight, yeah. And we have a bit of a contrast. In the passage, we've got some people who are desperate to be seen by as many people as possible. So we've got the clients running around, going through all the doors, not confining themselves to one patron. Sometimes you would have multiple.
Is that why you've got to get up so early? Because you've got to see 10 people? Goodness me.
Yeah, and you don't know who's going to be opening the door or not, and then how long you might have to hang around in vestibules before you get lucky. So we've got some people who are desperate to be seen, but also we've got a lot of patrons who are desperate not to be seen.
Yes.
sneaking out the back door, trying to rush hurriedly past and not catching anyone's eye.
Like when you're on the train and you don't want to talk to your neighbour, so you just pretend you haven't seen them. That kind of thing.
Absolutely, yeah. I've done that I've been on public transport and seen someone from work, and I will do my damnedest not to make eye contact. Mm-hmm. I thought I was just being particularly introverted there.
No, that's just very
that's
English.
Just normal. As a client, you want to see as many of your patrons as possible, because sometimes they might be bestowing gifts or support. Maybe Cake, exactly. But also...
sausages.
Okay.
Morning sausage.
You've got my interest. But also, if you're always there, Quintus, always in your vestibule, 6 a.m, you're more likely to be remembered.
Sure.
More likely to be favoured. I suppose it could backfire. Maybe you're just going to be remembered for being annoying and always hanging about.
It's Quintus again.
Yeah, get rid of him. So it could go either way. Theoretically, I think the principle is the more you're there,
the more dedicated you are as a client.
Yeah. And if there is a sea of people, then the one who is consistently there every morning, willing to wait around, they probably will get noticed as someone who's at least being a bit tenacious and determined.
Nothing wrong with that, Laura.
It's worth a shot. So I do like the idea of the patrons trying to sneak out. I know I should be going to see the clients, but I don't really want to this morning.
It's like when you just want to leave the Christmas party and you climb out of the toilet window.
Have you done that?
Oh, I thought everyone had.
I've never done that.
Oh, just me.
Is this a work Christmas party? Or...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You
fine.
just can't be bothered to say goodbye to everyone because they'll go, oh my God, we're doing sharks, come on.
You go out the window.
Just climb out the toilet window.
Oh dear, okay, fine.
Try it next time.
Okay, I will, yeah. So in the Republican period, the Salutatio, I guess, has a little bit more weight, doesn't it? Because we haven't got just power resting in one person, i.e. the emperor. You've got a little bit more the Senate and the consuls and all of the other magistracies that are going on. So actually cultivating those relationships is going to be important. Yes. Offer you a sausage, lovely, and be prompt in their attendance. One would hope. When we get into the imperial period, we get some lax behaviours coming from some of the emperors.
I understand that because the ultimate power rests with them and they kind of decide who's going to be consul. So what is the point in trying to election campaign because it's already decided?
I did come across a few stories, though, of naughty ones. So Caracalla, according to Cassius Dio, would make his clients wait all day and then he'd decide just not to bother seeing anyone.
Oh, that's the ultimate power play.
Yeah. And Elagabalus wouldn't stand up when senators came to see him.
Lazy.
Teenagers.
Well, yeah, that's probably what it was.
Yeah.
He wanted to play Xbox.
So, yeah, I like this idea of how the importance of it, the weight behind it, and also people's behaviours changed depending on whether we're talking about the Republic or the Imperial period. You know that you said you would absolutely not be happy with this process, being woken up at 5 a.m. and having to perform. And I'm with you. But I think there's probably also people who absolutely loved it.
Keeners.
Yeah. The kind of person who would recite his own poetry when you came to his dinner party. That sort of ilk.
And the people who just love to get up at 5 a.m. and go for a run. Those people.
So Cicero, in one extract, he implies that it's getting really tiresome and he calls it a turmoil. But I reckon he loved it, loved holding court. And actually there's lots of evidence to suggest that he was very respectful to his guests.
Well, you know what he's like? He's upholding the values of the Republic, isn't he?
Absolutely.
So of course he would be that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Well, talking about people who like to uphold republics, I'm going to finish with Juvenal. In its entirety, this is actually quite a long satire about moral decay in Roman society.
Has he been speaking to Seneca?
He's been hanging out with Seneca at the pub. But these two snippets are about the Salutatio in particular.
Right.
Juvenal uses the Salutatio as an example of how the fabric of society is rotten.
Ooh. Even
one of its most traditional relationships, which is part of your officium, or your duty as a citizen. So it does actually form an official part of being a citizen.
And that would be whether you're playing the part of the patron or the client.
Correct.
It's about the symbiosis in the relationship.
So this is supposed to bind society together and structure.
Romans love structure.
It's about being Roman. But it's now just corrupt garbage. This is Juvenal, Satire 1, lines 95 to 99 and 132 to 136. Nowadays, the diminished sportula is set outside on the threshold, ready to be seized upon by the toga-clad crowd. First, the patron scans your features, fearful you might be claiming under a false name. When recognised, you will receive your dole. At length, the old and wearied-out clients leave the vestibule and give up all their hopes, although the last hope that a man abandons is that of dinner. The poor wretches must buy their own cabbage and firewood. Meanwhile, the patron lord will devour the best that the forest and ocean has to offer, reclining alone with none but himself on his couches. Bit miserable. Juvenal's attitude is very different to Martial's.
Yeah.
Juvenal is really stressing how important the Salutatio is culturally for Romans, and how it's been reduced to a transactional servility.
Right, so the meaning has gone. It's almost like ticking boxes.
I mean, we have to take both of them with a pinch of salt, though, don't we? Because we're talking satire and comic poetry.
Yeah.
Taste. Let's start off with sportula.
Sportula. Spatula?
As we've heard already, the Salutatio is an active reciprocal obligation. So in return for their physical display of loyalty or presence, the patron might give their clients money or food or indeed an invite to dinner.
Nice.
This token is known as a sportula, but it literally means small basket. Immediately went to mini muffins.
Yeah. Or a kind of fruit display or something.
Yeah, like a Christmas hamper.
Mm.
Anyway, in these extracts, Juvenal paints quite the image. Long gone are the days when patrons would wine and dine their clients with 7-course banquets. Now they just leave a crappy little basket out on the doorstep. It's kind of humiliating.
Mm.
It's definitely impersonal.
Yeah, but if there's cash in it...
It's still a bit humiliating, just go scrabbling around in a basket on a doorstep. There's no hospitality anymore.
Mm.
That's the problem. And the way that Juvenal has his clients kind of descending on these packages, wearing their togas, like a starving mob.
Yeah, just trying to get all they can from a materialistic point of view.
But to be honest, some clients were on the breadline, and this is how they fed themselves, with their daily handouts from their patron. And
it is harder from their point of view, isn't it? If you think they're getting up ridiculously early, putting on this massive toga, traipsing across Rome, being ignored, 70% of the time, based on what we've heard today.
Yeah.
And so if they get a couple of denarii in a basket and a mini muffin, I'm going for it. I'm going to be fighting for a handbag at the Harrods sale. I am fully in.
And that's a bit what it's like, isn't it? Queuing up at the Boxing Day sales.
Yeah.
First one there.
Hoping to be front of the queue.
Yeah.
So you get some attention.
Really similar. But you can see the patron is suspicious and scared even. He doesn't really know if he knows these people.
Mm.
And there's no relationship anymore. If he kind of recognises you, then he'll give you the little handout. It's very bleak.
It is bleak.
But it gets bleaker.
Oh no.
Sorry. The extract continues with the old faithful clients. They're giving up after hours. They were clinging on. They were really holding out there for a dinner invite. But no, Laura.
No.
After all their efforts, they're quite literally left with a bitter taste in their mouths because they're just going to have cabbage.
Oh.
Well, or I guess you could try your luck at the bathhouse.
Oh, yeah, there's dinner invites aplenty down there.
Yeah, try down the baths. And this is the thing. In Roman culture, communal eating was important. It made you a part of society. So in this satire, the patron, by continually denying his loyal clients this dinner, they're literally and socially starved.
A dualism.
And then finally, Laura, you've got the inequality of society being laid bare. Juvenal contrasts the hungry poor clients eating cabbage with the excesses of the rich patron eating foie gras and caviar. But he's alone. He might be surrounded by food, but there's no community, no morality, just consumption.
Just materialistic.
So there you go. It's all about taste as power and status and exclusion.
Ooh, and cabbage.
And sausages. Well, you asked and we listened. No longer will you have to hear me failing dismally at quizzes in each episode.
Oh, that was fun for me, though. Yes, but that is correct. Caroline, your shame is spared. And going forward, we will end the show on some fun facts.
Now, we had a few this episode, didn't we, Lauren?
Well, actually, I like to think that we are built around fun facts, but yeah, we did have some.
Why don't we name some and recap, and then I will pick my fact of the episode.
Are we going to alternate, or is it always you? Why is it always you?
We can alternate.
Okay, thanks. So, fun facts. I'm going to go in hard with Sportula. The daily gift basket.
Yeah.
Mini muffin, sausage.
Yeah.
A couple of quid.
What's not to like?
Nice. But what it made me think of was a party bag.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That you get at the end of a kid's party.
Yeah. But it would be a rubbish party if they were all just left out on the step when you arrived.
Though I have seen kids literally swarm on them before. That does happen.
Wearing togas.
Yes. I came across an interesting fact about perhaps some of the more diligent patrons. They would have someone called a nomenclator who was there to sort of whisper names in their ear of the clients.
Oh,
so
because they had so many.
They had so many, yes. And it was like, oh, who's that? Who's that over there by the pillar?
Remind me who that is.
Yeah, so you'd have one of your staff members with an excellent memory being your brain.
I would not be a nomenclator.
No. I might be.
Okay.
You brushed past that one, didn't you?
I don't think it's my favourite. I have a fact.
Okay.
Which I might end up picking as my favourite.
Wow. So how is this going to roll?
So, by using maths...
Caroline, can you use maths now?
It wasn't me.
Oh.
It has been estimated that for a morning salutatio in Rome, there were between 40 and 200,000 men running around the city.
No.
Yeah. Now, just to put that into context, the O2 Arena is about 20,000 people.
200,000 people?
Mm-hmm.
No wonder it was so crowded at 5 a.m.
And I think that's what the sources say.
Because I thought Marshall was being overly dramatic there.
Crowds.
Yeah. Goodness.
So I'm going to pick my own fact as my fact of
you
the
haven't
episode.
Heard all of mine yet.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Well, actually, this one won't win. But I found out that Seneca, who we heard from earlier, stopped his Salutatio because Nero thought he was becoming too influential.
That's not a fun fact.
Oh.
Do you know what? I'm going to pick the amount of people that were running around Rome as my fact of the episode.
I do have to agree, that is very interesting and also quite astounding.
And I'm not even going to throw in my vestibule fact. I'm going to save that for another day.
Will there be another opportunity to talk about vestibules? Who am I kidding? Of course there will.
Of course there will.
Yeah.
So there you have it. It's good being back in Rome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Please do get in contact and let us know which fun fact was your favourite, Seneca and Nero. You can find us using our handle @Sistory History on Instagram and Blue Sky, or by dropping an email to sistoryhistory@gmail.com. Join us next time, where we will be in the dressing room discussing Roman cosmetics and hair.
Bye.
Goodbye.